Hi everybody, hope you're keeping well. Well, this is just off the cuff. Intention wasn't to go fishing. I've been doing a bit of work, driving around, and I got very near this one water that me and the boys have decided we will fish at some point very soon. And as I was so close, I thought, why not? I've got some of my kit in the van with me, so I'm able to get that out. I've come to the water now and thought I'd give it a go. I've just met Duncan, the fishery manager, told me a bit about the water, showed me around. He's also informed me that the fishing out there has been very, very difficult. So I'm looking forward to it all the same. But what I've got set up, my newer rod that I've not long had, it's the Mackenzie FX1, and it's the 9.6 weight. The graphene rod, and I've matched that up with the Hardy CRS line. This is the new line that I've been working with, and my Hardy reel. So all lovely. Even if I don't catch any fish, I'll have a nice time casting my new kit. But what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep it light. I'm going to just take a few bits with me, get my net. I'll have my GoPro, but I'm going to keep it all light and move as quick as I can. I thought I did have a jacket in the van. I haven't, and it looks like we're going to get a bit of a downpour. Hopefully it won't last. It's patchy cloud, and we'll get on the water. So let's crack on, because I've only got a couple of hours and I got to get moving again. Yeah, they've got plenty of geese up here. Geese shit everywhere. They're going there. Okay, so that same jacket I thought was in the van also had all my fly boxes in it. I do have a few flies, but very limited. But I'm not bothered about the flies, as what I really want to do is to get the rod on the water. I've only just picked the rod up. This was not planned, but as my travels took me so close to the rod retail, I had to have a look. I've been reviewing this rod for some time now, and it was only a matter of when. But even though Duncan has advised that I come back when the fishing picks up, the urge to get onto the water and a chance to christen the rod. I've been thinking of this for the last 2 hours while travelling here. There's a bit of colour on the water. Oh, I'm not sure if that was a fish or the weed then. All I'm doing is just putting it out, let it sink a bit, and I'll just do a jerky figure of 8 to start. Put another cast out, try a slightly different retrieve. Oh dear, don't do that. Let's just check that I've got everything on, still intact. Oh, that's okay. Fly is there, that was a bit of luck. Okay, avoid that area. Let's go down there. Back cast was hitting the tree a bit then, and behind me I was just pushing it a bit too far. I'm getting enough distance as it is.
I've got to be careful. I've got limited flies. What I'm fishing with at the moment is my size 14 gold head hazy. When the fishing is difficult, I can often rely on this pattern. What I've got left, it's not a great choice, so I really don't want to lose this fly.
Okay, somewhere else. That spot looks a bit cool, doesn't it, with the trees? Got a bit of weed here in front of me.
Okay, with those trees coming down in the water, I'm sure there's some good fish visit this area quite often. Bugs falling down off the tree into the water, and I think the hazy could quite easily represent something dropping out of that tree.
Fancied this little spot. Nice and quiet. Trouble is, I'm only 2 arms lengths away from all that vegetation, so the casting is a bit tricky.
What I'm having to do here is known as the steeple cast.
The spade cast, basically. On the backhand, what I'm doing is I'm lifting and I'm aiming up the top there. I'm putting it back out. Again, a double taper line would make that a lot easier. Certainly a lot deeper here, or I haven't hit weed or anything yet. Oh, look at this, bit of a detour. When the fishing is difficult, the waters are quieter. There's this one chap on the water here now, and myself. He'd say he's been here a day. But once it gets difficult fishing, most stay off the water. Which is a shame, because I find this time of year, when it's difficult, is when you really, you start cracking this out, you're going to do a lot better. And for me, it's still fishing. As long as my line's in the water and I'm doing something, every now and then you'd get lucky as well. Okay, so I know this isn't that deep here neither. So what I'll do is move around to the bank, because I haven't got long left. I don't know how long I've spent now. Probably a good half an hour.
I've spent already, so I need to get moving. It's a big enough water to cover, and you're not going to fish it properly like what I'm doing. You're going to get lucky. Some areas you'll feel a bit more confident more than others. Once I get to that spot, I'll know. Now apparently this bank here now goes into a lot deeper water. Yeah, you can see it's dropping off really quick there. I don't think the fish will be too far out here, to be honest. You can see weed growth out to there. So what I'm doing, I'm just putting a cast just beyond where I can see that weed. Let that drop down because of the depth here. If it is dropping off at what I can see there, then I'm going to be into quite deep water there. Ideally, I'd rather be a bit closer, but the weeds covering them areas get that perfect. Then fish are going to be moving around on that drop off.
So I've gone halfway around the lake. All I've had is one small knock. Now this area is between 3 and 4 meters deep, and Duncan has told me that there's more fish than anywhere else on the lake comes out of this one spot. So this is where I'm going to spend a bit more of my time. So I'm really pinning my hopes on getting something around this area. It's nice just to get a response from the fish, whether it's just a knock. If I end up hooking a fish, playing it a little while and it comes off, I'm going to be happy. But the one thing I don't really want to do, like none of us want to do want to blank. So it's becoming a bit more of a challenge now.
Thought I picked a fish up then. There goes the bottom again. That was not as deep as I thought. Seen about 3 fish move. And I've lost my fly. Okay, lost that haze here somewhere. Must have caught it on a bit of vegetation there somewhere. And I've given my other one away. So I've got to come up with something else to fish the other half. It won't be long now. It's tricky fishing. And the tippet is a bit heavy. 8 pound. It's not what I normally use, but as I say, didn't realise I wasn't intending to fish anyway, so I did leave my other jacket with all the flies and the tippet material all in
the pocket of the other jacket, so I'd say didn't expect too much. You get lucky. Some major heavy tippet now. This tippet, I normally use this tippet is when I'm fishing in the winter months. I'm fishing the lures. And sometimes when you're expecting to get hit a bit hard. Got the intermediate braid on, 5 foot of intermediate braid as well. Let's see what I can find in the fly box this side. I have tried a couple of the patterns. I might try dangly leg thing. Never know. There's the cast out.
This fly at times can be a great fish attractor, and what I've done is tie them up with various beads so it drops at different speeds, keeping the legs a bit shorter. When you're fishing it a lot slower, the fish are picky and you've got the longer legs on, all they're going to do is grab the legs. So by keeping the legs that bit shorter gives you a much better chance of getting a bit of a hook hold. So how I fish this normally would be on a hang, so once I've cast it out I'm always keeping contact with that fly. I'm not retrieving, I'm just keeping a bit of tension on the line and hopefully pick the fish up. But quite often they'll hit this on the drop, but again you can try many different things. I've had plenty of fish putting it in, let it drop a bit, fast figure of 8, but it's a good all-round pattern. It doesn't always work, but it has, for myself and the boys, caught us a lot of fish when nothing else is happening, so it's always worth a try. Okay, another move. I'm still fishing with the red squirmy worm thing, but what I'm finding up this half the lake is it's a lot shallower, and obviously we've got the problem with the weed. So if you ever do visit this water, there would be no need to go with any sinking lines. Even the intermediate, I think, unless you're in the deeper part down the bottom, but I would say the floating line or maybe a sink tip.
It's a real pity, mind, about the weed. I know every water struggles with the weed, but it's a lovely water. And the weed. I really need to get a move on. I've probably spent far too long now. This is the worming area where we do the worming from. Obviously because the vegetation here, trees and all, a bit too close. I think I'd manage a fly caster, and I haven't really got the time to start fishing any slower. I've gone slow enough as it is. That's a nice little cabin. It's got everything in there. What do we got? And tea and coffee stuff there. Little Barbie. Cracking. Sometimes a fast figure of 8 will get the fish going, but I don't think these fish are in a chasey mood today. No looks of things there. Oh, I don't know if that was a fish then. I got a funny feeling that was a fish. And I lost it. Could it be weed? No, not weed. I'm not in amongst any weed there. Ooh. They could be grabbing on those little legs. Come on, fish, get a mouthful. Sometimes when it's moving slow, they can just grab the legs. When you're moving a bit quicker, you just can grab a big mouthful. So I'll put it down a bit deeper and try moving it a bit quicker. Alright, let that sink. I'm just watching the end of that line now to see if anything has a little pull on it. As I say, that weight on it drops down, his legs are bouncing around as it's going down. I'm doing now to make sure I keep a certain depth. I'll quick burst of figure of 8. Let it stop, figure of 8 quick. Oh, that works. Just pick the weed up off the top there. A fish. Get him. It's hard to stop fishing. You know it could be the next cast. You know, when you're looking for that fish, you know, it could be that next cast. So you keep going. Ain't disappointed. It's been a bit of a rush job. You do get lucky. Come on, fishy. We're getting this funny weather as well, but there's nothing changes. Summer fishing, you know, you get up in the morning, first few hours of the morning, and if you're lucky to see a hatch on in the evening. Again, the hatches of the evenings aren't like they were last year or the year before. At the moment, you know, the hatch is just slow. The weather is affecting everything dramatically as well. We're getting such strange weather for this time of the year. It's clammy, like thundery clammy. Right, one more down the bottom, virtually back where we started. Obviously there's a lot of areas that I haven't touched. It's funny, I've not seen any fish moving around in the margins neither.
I did miss the take, but I thought sort myself out, get the line sorted, and then get the camera on. Let's have a look at him. That's nice.
When that fish hit, it was like being on top of the world. You know what I mean?
Okay, well, as you can see, starting off very confident. It was very difficult fishing. I certainly will come back again. It's a lovely water. You know, it's just a shame at the moment with the amount of weed. Towards the end of the year, this is going to be a cracking water to come visit. So I'll certainly be doing that. I might even get up here a bit before that. I know the way that it is now, but I haven't had much time to fish it properly. I just whizzed around. Didn't have all my best patterns with me. I don't know if that would have changed anything. If I'd have had a fly bot, you know, them conditions there, it was just so slow. Humidity at the moment, it's dreadful. It's not very nice at all. Not proper fishing weather. Just to get turned up here is a bit weird. I know I'm a bit late now. Wife will say, you've been working hard. As I say, I was so close to the water, it was just worth popping in, have a look. Had I realised I didn't have half my gear with me, I might have just skipped on, give it a miss. But I'm glad I'm here anyway. I know my way around how to find it now, and I've seen the water, got a bit of an idea with the water. I got an idea with the depths and so on, so I can certainly start tying a few patterns for this water. But sometimes when you do something like that, on the spur of the moment, it can normally end up being one of the best fishing trips you'll ever have. But there we are, one fish. I'm happy anyway. There is a lot of luck in it, but I'll take it. Now, whether we do come here again now in the next week or two, I don't know. I'll talk with Di and see what he thinks. The fishing is like, but if we fancy that challenge, just as Duncan says, you know, you might, like myself, I'm the only one to have caught one for a bit now. There are a couple of regulars that will come here, know the water very well, and sometimes can pull a few fish. But in general, the fishing is very difficult. I think that goes for a lot of waters at the moment. Okay, so I'm really late now. I've got to think of something to say, some excuse, or maybe I had a flat tire or something. But no, I got to shoot. I got a good few miles to do. And I'll see you on the next video. Take care.